A man's home is his castle, or so the saying goes. It's a place where one finds solace and security, a fortress against the uncertainties of life. It evokes feelings of security, of having a place to call your own, a sanctuary where memories are made and cherished, a sanctuary from the world's storms, a place where laughter echoes and love resides. But what happens when the very foundation of that castle, the ability to afford rent, begins to crumble beneath you? When the walls that once provided comfort start to feel like a burden? This isn't just a hypothetical question, it's a reality staring down many Namibians, myself included. The struggle to maintain a home is a daily battle. For years, I have navigated the choppy waters of the rental market in Windhoek. Each year brings new challenges, new uncertainties. It's a familiar story, the scramble to find a decent place within a reasonable budget, the endless search for a home that won't break the bank, the constant fear of rent hikes that could leave you financially stranded, the anxiety of not knowing if you'll be able to stay in your home. It's a precarious existence, living with the knowledge that your home, your castle, is built on sand. The ground beneath you is always shifting. This isn't about complaining, it's about highlighting an issue that affects us all. It's about bringing attention to a crisis that needs urgent solutions. When people are burdened by exorbitant rents, it stifles their ability to save, invest in their future, or even afford basic necessities. It creates a cycle of financial instability, or even afford basic necessities like food and healthcare. The impact is far-reaching and deeply felt. This isn't just an individual problem, it's a societal one. It's a challenge that requires collective action and innovative solutions. It's about time we considered bold solutions like rent control to ensure everyone has a fighting chance at building a secure future. We need policies that protect tenants and create a fairer housing market for all. Every month, like clockwork, that email hits my inbox, the dreaded rent reminder. It's a moment that fills me with a mix of dread and resignation. And every month the number seems to inch a little higher. It's as if the digits on the invoice have a life of their own, constantly climbing. It's a slow burn, this relentless climb of rent, but its impact is undeniable. The cityscape may look serene, but beneath the surface there's a growing tension. It chips away at your savings, forces you to make tough choices, and leaves you feeling trapped. Every decision becomes a balancing act, a struggle to stay afloat. It's not just me. Talk to anyone in Namibia and they'll tell you the same story. The struggle is universal, cutting across different walks of life. Young professionals starting their careers are priced out of decent housing. They find themselves in cramped spaces, far from the dreams they once had. Families struggle to make ends meet, forced to compromise on space and safety. The dream of a comfortable home feels increasingly out of reach. The elderly, living on fixed incomes, face impossible choices between rent and essential medication. This isn't sustainable. Their golden years are tarnished by financial stress. The lack of affordable housing is a ticking time bomb. It's a crisis that grows more urgent with each passing day. It's time we acknowledge the elephant in the room. The free market isn't working for everyone. The system is broken and the cracks are widening. We need intervention, we need regulation, and we need it now. It's a call to action for policymakers, communities, and individuals alike. Together, we can make a difference. Rent control. It's a term that sparks heated debates and polarizing opinions, often dividing communities and policymakers alike. But what exactly is it, and why does it generate such strong reactions? In simple terms, it's a government-imposed limit on how much landlords can charge for rent, aiming to keep housing affordable. It's not a new concept. In fact, it's been implemented in various forms across the globe, from New York City to Berlin, each with its own set of rules and regulations. The idea is simple: to protect tenants from unreasonable rent hikes and ensure everyone has access to affordable housing, creating a more stable living environment. In cities like Paris, rent control has helped preserve the social fabric of neighborhoods, preventing mass displacement and fostering diverse communities where people from different backgrounds can coexist. Of course, no system is perfect, and rent control is no exception. Critics argue that rent control can discourage new construction and lead to a decrease in housing quality, as landlords may have less incentive to maintain properties. However, the potential benefits, particularly in the context of Namibia's housing crisis, cannot be ignored. Rent control could provide much-needed relief to families struggling to find affordable housing, offering a glimmer of hope in a challenging situation. Access to safe, affordable housing isn't a luxury, it's a fundamental human right. It's the bedrock upon which we build our lives, raise our families, and contribute to society. When a significant portion of the population struggles with exorbitant rents, it's not just an economic issue, it's a moral one. Imagine a young teacher fresh out of university, passionate about shaping young minds. But instead of focusing on their students, they're bogged down by the constant stress of making rent, forced to take on extra jobs just to keep a roof over their heads. This is the reality for many Namibians. We're failing our essential workers, our young professionals, our most vulnerable citizens. It's time we recognized the moral imperative of affordable housing and took concrete steps to address this pressing issue.